What the fuck is going on? Alright, have so much shit to tell you guys. Alright, so this is gonna be the Q&A, updated, refreshed one. But let me get this first out of the way. I have been so inconsistent. Literally, I was in the worst relationship of all time. I wasn't allowed to do this. So, I wasn't just being ghosty as fuck for no reason. Like, every single video I put out, I've had to do, like, secretly. So, like, I love you guys. Like, this is me. People who watch this channel and see my videos, like, know more about myself than anyone else in my life. So, I just got out of that. So, please, just, like, I know I've been flaky, but, like, this, on God, like, I literally just escaped. Like, that Kanye West tweet, I'm about to put it up. Like, everyone knows the movie Get Out was made about me. Like, bro, on God, swear to God. So, we had a big community thing. By the way, I have created a new, I guess they call them memberships on YouTube or whatever. You pay like $2 and you get access to like the full like debauchery that I was into in my like prime degenerate years of YouTube. Plus like 4 videos that I can't like have publicly uploaded. $2 a month. So if you want to see that, the link is in the description. My Instagram is also right here, whatever, leave a like and a comment. But this is a new updated Q&A. I will have a story time for you. Hopefully can record that tomorrow night, but I'm gonna edit this and yeah. So I wanted to do a sobriety Q&A, I guess. And I'm just kind of going off the comments that I got that I related to the most, and I'm just going to go as in-depth on them as I can. So, first one comes from Joshua Twitty. He asks, what is your best method for dealing with temptation during sobriety? For me, that's hard because I was never like a poly addict or anything like that. Like, I only was ever addicted to like opiates. Because for a while, like, it feels like love. I was trying to fill a hole, like literally like, it's crazy I'm wearing this shirt now. Like I was trying to fill a black hole of because I was, I didn't get it as a child. So I always had this hole in me that I needed nourishment and love. And the first time I ever did 30, I was like, that's what I've been looking for. But obviously like that fades away. So for me, now I've just started to fill that hole with like, creating YouTube videos, working on fashion stuff. I'm going to college for fashion, like all this stuff, like just doing positive like passions and stuff. Because I never had a drug problem. My solution was the drugs. And it worked for a little bit. It's not a long-term solution. Like you guys saw me spiral. You saw what happened. You saw the end product. Like it's not a good solution, but it was my solution. So to answer your question, like if I was an alcoholic and I was in a bar, I don't really know what I'd do, to be honest with you. I have been around, like weed and I've been around oxys and I've been around all that. But for me, it's just like, I just remember the times where I don't even believe in God, but I would wake up in the morning and I'd be like, please God, don't let me live like this anymore. Please God, please, 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 begging. Because being dope sick is the worst thing in the world, bro. And so every time I even think about it, my brain for some reason is just like, hey, you remember the time that you like shit yourself all over the place because like you were withdrawing so hard or like you couldn't get out of bed and like your muscles ached, like all this stuff, like, or the fucking, literally, like I have this app called I Am Sober, right, that tracks my sober time. Let's pull it up right now. Let's see how much money that I have saved. I've saved $110,000 by not doing opiates. That's on the low end too. I put that as like, because there'd be some that, so I'm recording this as I've hit 18 months off of everything. I've been opiate free for about 2 years and a month. So I could have put a down payment on a house. I could have bought an R8. I could have done so much shit. And instead I put it up my nose like an idiot. So yeah. Dankety Spankety asks, how quickly did your tolerance go up while taking opiates? And please answer benzos too. There's another question. So my tolerance didn't go up with oxy until I started snorting it. because we were actually kind of smart about it. Like looking back on it, we would do like quarters, like, and put them in sodas and like pop quarters and stuff. Because I always thought like 30 milligrams is like, that's a lot of fucking drugs, bro. Because I was prescribed like Norcos when I had surgery, and those are 5 to 7.5 milligrams. So I was like, whole 30 is nuts. And I went to LA, did all that Shoreline stuff, and they're like, why are you not popping the whole thing? I'm like, no, drop it in a soda and drink it over time. They're like, you're insane. But as soon as you start sniffing them, bro, that shit goes out the roof, bro. Like, the tolerance goes like, it builds so fast, it's unreal. You can't keep up with it unless you're a millionaire. Like, even look at that fool Alec Murdaugh or whatever, who just like went to jail for like, bro won Geeker of the Decade award type shit. Like, my boy was doing thousands of milligrams of oxy a day. Like, shit is crazy. And with benzos too, I never really like built a tolerance to benzos. I wasn't. The only time I was doing Xanax like every day was when I was like 16. But I would never pop more than like 2 bars. So I don't know. I always just blacked the fuck out. Like, I never like incrementally, like, I never did like a quarter of a bar and then like went up. I was just like, oh, let me pop a full one. And then I was like, oh shit, blacked the fuck out. Don't remember everything, but it was fun. Let's pop another one. And like, you know, I had a little Xan phase, but benzo's never really like my thing. And what's your relationship with Zaza or weed? I don't smoke weed anymore. I smoked weed all day, every day for 9 years straight. And you guys, obviously, if you've listened to the story, you know about my fucking getting kicked out of rehab. Like, I smoked weed in rehab, and I had the worst panic attack of my life, going from 0 tolerance to hitting a hash rosin pen. Like, I just never want to have a panic attack like that again, ever in my life, A. And B, that shit do be hindering your motivation. It lowers, like, it does affect you. Like, you want to think it doesn't, but it does. Like, my brain now works at, like, crazy capacity. So, yeah. The next one is from EvilTwin. He says, how did you get so connected with your habit/hustle? So my hustle has just been inherently in me forever. I've never like been a stagnant person. School was never for me. I'm going to school now for fashion, but it's not really to get a degree. It's to go to New York to like kick down doors, essentially, to get into this industry. I've just loved clothes. It's been my everything since I was 12. So anything I can do to get clothes, make clothes, do anything with clothes, like taste in general, like, I've done it. I was reselling Supreme when I was 13 years old, you know? Like, I coded bots to fucking... I still remember when the Supreme fucking Desert Camp Jordan 5s came out, and I fucking got like 20 pairs or something like that. I made like $8K. I was like 15 or 16. I was just like shit like that. Like, I don't know. I've always just like had little weird ways of making money. But when my habit started going up, like, again, what I was saying before, you can't keep up once you start snorting, bro. Like, I could have done as many blues as you put in front of me. Like, I swear to God, you put 50 in front of me, I'll rail all 50 of them. Like, it's just like how it is. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but it's fucked. But my hustle definitely turned scummy when I got like, because you'll do it like your brain, like there's scans and shit of this. Like, you guys can do research on like FIBJ Main, like do your homework on how your brain changes when you become an opiate addict type shit. You know, like there's fucking brain scans of this shit. Like, I became a scummy fucking hustler. Like, I wasn't working on productive stuff. I was just trying to make that next dollar to buy that next pill to get that, to feel normal, to be not sick. I didn't even feel good anymore. I just felt not sick. Like, shit's fucked. Next question is, at 27 Temper, what started your interest in fashion and what are your top 3 brands? That's a good question. What started my interest in fashion was I started skateboarding when I was like 6 years old. And so I would see like the big chunky DC shoes, no Osiris shoes, and like Birdhouse sweaters and stuff, and like the graphics and shit. And I was like, damn, that's cool. Like, I want to look like that. And so I would like buy that shit. And then from there, I somehow found out about Supreme. I think through the person who was working at the skate shop that I would buy that shit from, wore like a 5 pen at one time. And that was back in like 2012 or like 2013 or something like that. So a Supreme 5 panel was like new and like crazy. I was like, damn, what is that? He's like, It's Supreme, bro. Like, you gotta check it out. And so Supreme really introduced me to everything because they've had all these collabs, all this history. You know, the 2000, I think it was 2006. They did that bootleg Louis Vuitton box logo and the decks and stuff. And so I was like, huh, what's Louis Vuitton? And then I did all my research on that, and then then I found, you know, like the 1990s Chanel runway shows, and like going into like, you know, Jun Takahashi, like 2002 autumn winter undercover stuff like that. Just like, it just fascinates me. It's something that you can like viscerally feel, like the emotion sometimes through clothing. Is anything that can make you feel something is worth buying, in my opinion. Like, if you can watch a movie and it can make you feel an emotion, regardless of the emotion, that is a piece of art that is worth creating and worth preserving. Because there's so few things in the world these days that make you feel anything. Like, I go on my phone and scroll on TikTok for hours, and like, you know, people send me TikToks and I'll respond LMFAO when my face just looks like I don't feel anything, you know? So when real art comes out and you feel something and you can literally be like, damn, that piece makes me feel like I'm mesmerized, or like when you put it on, you're like, damn, I'm confident today, or like if I'm feeling fucking like fuck the world type shit and I want to go on my like punk type vibe, then it's just self-expression, it's individuality, it's everything. My top 3 brands right now would be Boris Bijan, Rick Owens, and probably Hedi Slimaine's Dior stuff is really interesting to me. Are there any times where you miss being under the influence? No, not really, to be honest with you, because a lot of it was me. Like, when I was in high school, like public high school, I wanted to be like faceless. Like, you have to be generic as fuck to be like going to like parties and shit like that. And I was just never that when I was sober. So I smoked weed, popping Xans and shit, so I could dumb myself down to be like, you know, fit in with the milieu of regular people. But then I'd always be like, I want to go to a party so bad. And I get to the party and be like, damn, Max is at the party. Like, that's crazy. Like, I'm the focal point of the fucking party. Like, I remember, like, I would be serving kids, like, college kids, and they'd be like, are you Pothead? And I'd be like, oh, fuck, not this again. Like, and they'd be taking pictures of me at the party, like, yo, Pothead pulled up, like, blah, blah, all this shit. Like, people would be taking pictures of my car while I was driving around. Like, shit was ridiculous, bro. Like, so, no, I function much better 100% sober. What's the most amount of Xannies you ever took? I have a video on that. So I'm going to make you go watch that. I'm not going to explain that here. Boost my interaction, please. How's post-rehab life been? What are you things you do to keep you occupied since you've been living the sober life? Again, post-rehab life it's really good in every aspect besides that toxic-ass relationship I was in. I have really good school prospects. I'm doing really good in the classes I'm in right now. I have a decent job. So everything is really good. But all of that was obfuscated by this toxic-ass relationship that made me miserable. It literally, like, I couldn't do any of my creative shit. It was literally like I would fucking... my body was on go 24/7. Like, any time I wasn't doing anything else, I had to cater to her shit. There was no time for me. Like, it's just fucked. Scariest plug experience? I got a story about, thank you for that. I am going to make a video on that. Any financial advice for getting out of high school? Bro, what the fuck? Go to high school, fool. What are you talking about? Gang, what? That is a crazy question, fool. Finish high school, bro. If you don't like the high school you're in, just change high schools. I went to 3 different high schools, bro. Like, just change. How'd you meet Shoreline Mafia? Alright, so this was one day I just rented, like, I've been listening to Shoreline Mafia since like 2016, bro. So one day I just followed OGZ on Instagram. He followed me back, like, instantly. I remember I was in bed with this bitch, and she was like, what the fuck? Why did OGZ just follow you? I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then he DM'd me, he's like, yo, are you in California? I was like, no, I'm in Colorado. He's like, oh, for sure. Like, But I'm like, and I sent him like a video of some lean or whatever. I was like, but you know, when I come down, you got a link. He's like, oh, it's Mando's. And ever since then, it's just like, it's been up. Since I lost that account and shit, I haven't seen too much of them. I'd still talk to Phoenix here and there. OGZ seems to be doing really well. He inspires me. He seems to be like a good father and like still has like a work-life balance. So that's really cool. Do you still kick it with Willie? I saw him a few days ago over break. I haven't gotten to hang out like with him for an extended period of time. I really want to, but we're on good terms. And yeah, I love Willie. I always love Willie. I have never done DMT. Willie story continued. Got you. I've done opiates like twice and never enjoyed them. So sorry if you're sober and this is bad, but what do they feel like? When I even take them, I just get sick and hate them. So you're taking too much. If you were to have no opiate tolerance and pop an entire 30, you would vomit and then feel the euphoria. So for me, it felt like the first time I ever did like a quarter of a 30, it felt like you know, you're coming in from like a cold snow day and the fireplace is on and like your grandma is wrapping you in like a thick blanket and giving you like a cup of hot cocoa. That's what it felt like to me. What it sounds like to me is you're either A, doing fentanyl, or B, you're taking too much of a dose at a time. You ever smoke blues, and how different is doing heroin than perks and drank? I've never smoked a blue. I've smoked heroin. Heroin is all fentanyl now. Unless you're like super tapped in with the cartel. And how is that different than doing perks and drank? Well, if you're doing perks that are real, those are measured dosages and they're fucking same thing as drank. Like if it's real, then it's measured. It's you know, the Federal Drug Administration has approved the dosage of these medicines. I don't want to get into the whole fentanyl thing because, you know, I feel like that's been overdone. But what drug do you regret doing the most, and is there any you want to try in the future? I regret doing 0.5 gram of Molly. I don't know why Willie and I decided to split 1 gram of Molly down the middle and do that for my first time ever doing Molly. But like it's a hilarious memory to have, but in the moment, that shit was so terrible. I will put a card up here for that story too, because that shit was, oh my god. And do I want to try any in the future? I don't think there's a drug that I haven't tried before that I'm like intrigued in. No. I don't think so. Or I could be like, oh, I could make some crack. I could smoke crack for YouTube. Oh my god. Never mind. Don't I'm cut that out, or you know. How many times have you overdosed? It depends on what you consider an overdose. Like where I need Narcan and shit. Just the one time. But like overdosing where you like wake up with like a straw in your nose and like shit like that, like so many fucking times, like can't even tell you, can't even count them. What made you start the OG IG account Pothead? I was in the OG users community for a while, and I started smoking weed when I was like 13, 14. I was like, damn, I want that Pothead so bad, and I just had it. I had it forever, and then my rehab made me delete the account, and then I had to go to Wilderness, so the 6 months lapped, and so it's just gone forever, which sucks. I think that's all the questions I have here. Let's check the Discord. We have a Discord server. There's a link. I'll put a link here too, but it should be in the description, and it's on the channel thing. So join it. There's a lot of good people in there, and you know, if you like my content, you'll find new friends. We all help each other out, and it's a good time. Oh, anyways, I'm back. I'm here. Stories on the way. Vlogs on the way. I teased a little. I shot some crazy shit while I was in Colorado. I'll put a... Actually, go check the Instagram. Go check the Instagram, man. Run my shit up, bro. Come on. Run me up. I love y'all. Thank you for sticking with me. I know I'm hard. I know I'm tough. But I think you guys also know I'm worth it. And I love you all so much from the bottom of my heart. For real. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I'll never let this Pothead channel die. I'll never let Hopeless die. Like, I have it, that shit. Other people have that shit tattooed on them too. Like, I can't let that shit die. So, it'll always be around. I'll always be around. No matter what I'm doing, this is going to be part of it. I love you guys. Thank you for being part of my life. And thank you for sticking with me.